Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun painting, so let's get started. We'll start off today with a 2-inch brush and a little bit of blue. And we'll come right about here and drop in a little bit of blue sky. We don't need a ton because I think I'm going to have some clouds in the sky today. So we'll just have a little bit of this blue. Let it get lighter as it comes down toward the horizon. There's a little more in the corner. With the 1-inch brush and a little bit of black and red, we can come in here and drop in some nice clouds. Now I want to keep this brush moving up here. I don't want to sit here and grind away in one spot. This is just the shadow part of the clouds. We'll come back and add some highlight and make them shine. But for now, I just want to drop in a little bit of a shadow under the clouds. I really like that color. It's black with a little bit of red. There. Maybe it kind of wraps up and around like that. Maybe the cloud goes right off the canvas. With a clean brush, we can come in here and blend out these clouds. I'm focusing mostly on the top corner of that brush. Although because these are just the background shapes, you don't have to be very careful. So if you want to use the whole brush and just really mix them up, it'd probably be just fine. There we go. Mix them up. And then blend across. Now these are pretty nice just the way they are. I want to show you how to make them even nicer. I loaded up a little bit of white paint on the 1-inch brush. And now we can drop some bright highlights on. There. Just roll them right in. See that? Kind of a circle there. Use only the corner of the brush. And just shape all your little clouds. There. Back to the 2-inch brush, and we can lightly blend out this highlight. I'm going to be pretty careful here because I don't want to destroy the top of the highlight. I want to keep it very distinct. I'm just looking to blend away the bottom, make the bottom very soft. And then we can lift up, fluff the cloud, very light, and blend across. In just a few seconds, you have a very nice sky filled with clouds. With a little bit of light gray on the knife, we can come in here and drop in a little range of mountains in the background. This is nothing more than the basic outline. That's all I want. Because this mountain range is very, very far away. And I also don't want it very dark. There we go. Just a little bit of paint on the canvas. Now I've darkened that gray up by adding a little bit of brown and black. And now, let's make another mountain. And this mountain will be right about there. Now maybe today, let's work on a lot of mountains. Maybe I'll put another mountain in front of this one. So I don't want this one is super dark. I want to be able to get one more mountain in that'll be darker. So this one will be the light, and this one will be medium, and then we'll have a nice dark one. The color here is so important. That's the only thing that makes these mountains look separate. There. Just a nice little shape. With the 1-inch brush, I'll grab that mountain at the top and blend it down. This makes it very soft. It also removes just a little bit of paint. You can see that even lightened it up a little bit. There we go, just blend it out. Now Now with the knife, we can begin to highlight this mountain. I don't want much paint up here, not a lot of texture, because this isn't the closest mountain. So that'll make it look like it's a little bit further back. We don't need a ton of highlight here. Just enough to suggest some light hitting it, and that should be plenty. Not too much. There's a little bit right over there. With the 2-inch brush, let's create some mist. So I'm just going to lift up at the bottom of the mountain. Now sometimes you see me tap. I'll do that, but not on this one. I just want to lift up, just to soften it a little bit. Don't want to overdo. There's not much paint here on the canvas. Now with some pure black on the knife, let's drop in a huge mountain up here. And watch this. I'm going to bring this mountain right in front of that one. Now look, already that's pushed it very, very far away. Just made it go right back into the distance. And that's just what I wanted. This mountain is very, very dark. And that's a good thing. I like that a lot. Without all that dark, then it would look far away like that one does. With the 2-inch brush, we can come right up here and gently blend out this mountain. Now I don't want to blend it away so that it's too light. If you blend this too much, it'll become nice and light. And I like that a lot, but not in this particular mountain. So we won't blend it very much, just a little, enough to smooth it out. And that should be fine. With a little bit of brown and white, we can highlight this mountain the same way. Touch it at the top, and then let that knife run right down the mountain. If you push too hard, you won't get any of this breaking in here. And I want a lot of breaking in my mountain. A lot of these little holes and rough areas. That just makes your mountain look a little more realistic. There we go. Pay attention to the angles. I want this mountain pretty steep. So my angles they're pretty steep. Match the angles the way you want your mountain to run. And add a little bit right up in there. And we'll come back and add a little bit of shadow. But for now, we're just worried about the highlight side. With the knife and a little bit of brown, we can add in some pure dark shadow areas. This really gives the mountain a lot of contrast. Makes it jump right off the canvas. Just here and there, add a little extra deep shadow. With the clean 2-inch brush, we can tap out the bottom of this mountain to create some mist. I'm breaking up all that heavy paint on there and making it look very soft. When you have the bottom tapped out, you can turn the brush and lightly blend. Just enough to make it look misty down here at the bottom. With the fan brush and a little bit of green, we can come in here and add some trees in the distance. These trees kind of grow up the mountain. Just tap them in and then lift them up. There we go. We don't need a ton, just a little suggestion of some detail back here. Now I'll mix up a nice dark green on the fan brush. And we can start thinking about some large evergreen trees. I give myself a line and then gently push up on the brush. This forms all the little limbs. And then we'll let them stop right there. Maybe we want a big tree line right here. So we'll put several of these in. With the 1-inch brush and some black and green, let's make a little tree right here. So I'll just tap using the corner of that brush. But look where I put it. It's kind of hanging into the painting. Number 1, that kind of frames out the painting. And number 2, I really like that mountain. I didn't want to cover it up too much, but I did want a tree on this side. So it solves both problems. There we go. Tap it in and make it very dark. While we have that color on the brush, let's just tap in the rest of this land down here. We'll fill up the entire canvas with paint, and we'll come back and highlight it in a minute. With the 1-inch brush and some yellow and green, we can tap on a little touch of highlight to this tree. We don't need a ton of highlight, just enough to make it stand out. Leave a lot of that dark in the tree. That's what makes it look three-dimensional. Without that, the tree will look very flat. And I want a lot of depth and contrast in my tree. There we are. Tap in a little bit of highlight. Now I'll tap a 2-inch brush through a little bit of that same color. And here and there, we can highlight this grass. We don't need to highlight it solid. That wouldn't look very good. Instead, leave a lot of the dark. This is sticking pretty good, but if you're tapping on yours and the paint won't come off, then thin it down with a couple of drops of paint thinner. Just enough so that it'll stick easily. All right, that looks good. Do you see how I kind of have this land sloping? Maybe this is a rolling hill, and it's kind of rolling, sloping off like that. With the 1-inch brush and a little bit of red, we can pick out a few little bushes down in here. I really like this kind of a pink-red color. Very pretty. We have a lot of dark here on the canvas to work with, so all we have to do is come in here and give it a little tap to add some highlight. That easy. You can create a lot of little bushes. With the fan brush, we can tap on a little bit of highlight to some of these trees. Just use a corner of the brush and tap it on, leaving a lot of dark in the tree. With some black on the knife, we can drop in a couple of rocks down here, just like that. With a little bit of black on the knife, let's finish up this painting with an old tree stump. So we'll just block it in. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my website and also my DVD for sale. I'll put those links below. And thanks for watching.